Oh, is it always my freaking job now to announce this podcast? Is that what we're saying?
You've had to do it 2 times. Twice you've had to say the first word.
Guys, welcome back to the Nobody Else podcast.
For someone who loves to say all the words, the fact
With
that
Edan
you don't
McGovern and
jump
Lachy
at the first one. Yeah.
I wish we had an auto-tune feature.
I wish you had a mute feature.
Oh, he's back.
I'm back. I'm back in a big way. It's probably because I'm wearing the West Tigers colours right now.
Yeah.
I decided because I just thought, you know what, I'm going to wear a West Tigers jersey and a West Tigers hat because I love my team. The West Tigers, and I love the Sydney Swans. Speaking of, I've got to give a big shout out. There's a guy has an Instagram page called Footy Finds, as in footy.finds, makes some beautiful vintage AFL gear. So if you ever want like vintage throwback gear, go to Footy Finds.
Cool.
Shout out to him for sending me a beautiful Swan shirt.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, nice guy. So I appreciate that.
Speaking of sport, do you know what I realised we never talked about on the podcast?
What's that?
The wrestling.
The West? Oh, yeah. Fuck, that'll be a while ago.
Fuck, that'll be
literally like a month and a half ago. So guys, this is what I mean. This is what comes with us having to pre-record episodes because Lochy's going away for 2.5 months. I did some wrestling with PWA, which is the Pro Wrestling Australia company. I think people know the story where I was drunk on the train one night and I saw one of their videos on TikTok and I commented, I'd fuck all of you up whilst being drunk, being silly. And the next day they reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to do a guest spot? And since then, every year I've kind of been invited back to do a spot as a character that is just essentially myself, amplified to the most annoying and douchey and evil. And it started off the first year, I wasn't really that involved. I was just kind of being annoying around the ring and I took one punch, fell down. That was cool. And then the next year, they had me in one of their matches called a Rumble, which has 30 people in it. One person comes out every minute and a half, and the only way to eliminate them is throw them over the top rope and have them hit the ground. And that year, I'm always accompanied by a guy called Reese Angel, piece of shit, fucking betrayed me this time. We'll get into that. But he was injured that year, so they put me into it. And I have no wrestling training. So I was very scared, but I got to do some cool moves, take some cool moves.
It was pretty awesome.
It was awesome. And then this year came back again and pretty fun. They said, do you want to come out with a steel chair? I was like, I'd love to. Who am I hitting? And they were like, there's a lovely lady called Cherry Stevens, an amazing Australian pro wrestler. And so my immediate action when I stepped in the ring was to hit her as hard as I could in the stomach with this steel chair. And then I gave the chair to Reese, who I thought was my ally. I held her up, giving him a free shot at Cherry. He decided that he didn't want to do that. Didn't stick to the plan. There was a push and shove. Slaps were thrown. Punches were thrown. I may or may not have been knocked out for a good duration. But then I did end up eliminating Reese because he's a fucking loser.
Yep.
I got him. You can see it in the video. The video would be up by now.
And you did eliminate. Who else did you eliminate?
Myself, because when you have 5 dudes who are all 6'2" and over and have extensive wrestling training coming towards you, and one of them slaps you on the chest so hard that there is a hand mark 7 days after you were, made contact.
That is so crazy.
So I eliminated myself purely because I thought if I eliminate myself, it gives somebody else a chance to win. Because usually that sort of thing's not going to happen.
True.
So again, PWA, like I said in my promo, you're relevant again every time I talk about you, so you're welcome. And guys, keep an eye out for future events at PWA. I might pop up again next time they need a ratings boost. And next time somebody needs an ass whooping. Backman, Cherry Stevens, Jess Troy. I'll even call out Delta, the Velocities.
Jess Troy.
PPK.
That's my wife.
Just what? Jess Troy, the champion?
Yeah.
They can all catch these hands. Nikki, you can catch these hands.
Jess Troy is awesome. That's my wifey.
I'm just going to call them all. Nikki and Frankie from PPK can catch these hands. The Velocities, I don't think they can even reach me. Sam Osborne, Will Keedus, I'll smash your melons together. Who else we've got? Jimmy Townsend, Mick Moretti. I'll clothesline the hell out of all of you. Third Eye, you can catch these hands as well.
You know who's handsome? Scott Green.
I thought you'd say that.
Really?
I thought you'd say that.
Really?
Scott, he's
a handsome man.
He's one of those dudes who I look at and I'm like, fuck, that's how I think I look. So he's just got a fantastic smile on him.
He has and like his haircut is good. It's like
That's
it's
what I
like
mean. It sits perfectly.
It's like the Inner West. Like it has like mullet features to it, but it's not in the like.
But it looks like
garage party.
But it looks like he was
like,
born with it. It doesn't look like he's done any maintenance. It just looked like it's done that. Scott Green and the Tuckman, the tag team, the Dropouts. Scott Green, hilariously for his entrance at the Rumble, didn't come out of the entranceway like the rest of us. Scott Green's character, obviously, as you can tell from the last name, loves a bit of the puff.
Devil's lettuce.
The devil's. He comes out with a bag of chips and some bag of green pants on. He had a fantastic entrance where he had a fog machine underneath the ring that like clouded up, and
That's sick.
And he came out from under the ring as if he was hot boxing the ring, and it was fantastic.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Scott Green, that's another one who can catch these hands. Pretty much any one of them.
He can catch me if I.
Well, funnily enough, I might have to cut this out unless it's confirmed. This might be fine enough in the future. I'll have to ask him. So Scott actually got asked to audition for Love Island.
Oh, sick.
And you know what I don't ever tell people, because I've done the audition process for Love Island before. I've been asked to go do it, and I'll tell that story at some stage.
Wow, I didn't know this.
You didn't know that?
No, news to me.
I got asked to audition for Love Island, and I did the whole audition process. There's photos out there of me in a board short doing the Love Heart sign. I'll tell you that's a story for another time. But Scott got asked to, he told me he got asked to audition for Love Island, and he went along. And you know what he did? That I don't like telling people, dude, you're so fucking in. But after he told me what he did for his audition, I'm like, I don't see any reason for them to not pick you. He walked in with his championship belt on and cut a promo as if he was a wrestler talking about how he's going to find love in the villa. And I'm like, dude, do you know how much the producers are going to eat that up? Because the Love Island producers, they want to find one thing about your personality and make it everything.
Push it.
So like, I have a friend who
they
was
want the taglines for the show.
Yeah, I have a friend who was on Love Island, and I think the only difference between her and everyone else was she was the only one with the university degree, and so her whole thing was
not just the beauty but the brains.
So they had her walk out in like graduation gown and cap, and I was just like, dude, they're going to box you into this thing of just he's the wrestler, but it's perfect because no one else has ever done that.
No one.
Matt, they have him walk in with the belt. They'll probably have challenges that will suit him. They'll be like, they'll set up a wrestling ring and you have to like fight for somebody's heart. You'll have to cut a promo. I honestly thought like, as soon as he said he walked in and did that, I'm like, you're one of the very rare people, especially men, who will go on Love Island, and I think all of Australia will fall in love with you.
Yeah.
I think he could be what people hoped Harry Jousey was. Lovable Aussie larrikin, but I know Scott, and he's a great guy. Aww, he's a fantastic man.
Stop it. I was standing with Dave Woodhead.
Dave Woodhead, shout out.
Shout out. Lunchtimes with Triple J. Mm-hmm. Dave Woodhead. I was standing with...
Yeah, sorry. In conclusion, everyone from PWA can catch these hands. You pussies.
Everyone from PWA can catch my hands on you.
Famously, enemies of the pod, anyone who wrestles for PWA. And on Edan's fucking list, everyone from PWA.
They're so awesome.
It's a really hot company.
I was standing...
backstage, everyone's really hot.
I was like, they're all so beautiful.
Everyone's jacked, and they all get in like these amazing...
The costumes.
The gear.
The whole time I was watching, I was standing with your mum for this part. I was like, we've got to get him a costume. We've got to get him a better costume though. He needs a coat. Like, I was like, who's got a sewing machine? And Danelle was dying. It was really cute.
But it is a very attractive locker room from the men and the women. It is.
And you know what? It's so like the whole thing is very progressive.
Yeah.
They got
men fighting women.
And but not in a like, kind of way. It's like it never read as like, are we looking at something bad here? It always reads as like, oh, cool. Like it would feel more patronizing to only let the girls fight the girls, etc. Like they do it in a way that it feels so supportive. It really does feel like, no, it's anyone's game here. It's everyone against everyone. And there's like trans people, and there's so much like there's so many flamboyant gays.
Well, you missed it. In the pre-show, there was a match where one of the wrestlers, their character is a drag queen.
I know, it was
who's named Suplex. Suplex being a wrestling move.
Wonderful.
But I mean, it's if anyone listening from PWA, if you're also if you're wanting to get into wrestling, they have tryouts. They hold the tryouts. They announce them on their Instagram. It's an incredibly inclusive environment, like Edan said.
Yeah, if you are like one of the lefties on this podcast and you're like, oh, I wouldn't like wrestling, I was living. It's drag. Guys, it's drag. Yeah, but it's literally drag.
There's people from all different backgrounds. You've got people of all different, identities and orientations, gay, trans, bi, lesbian, whatever you want, people from all over Australia, people from other countries as well. They're all very inclusive. And the funny thing is, you talked about like it's hard to get lefties into wrestling because it's kind of maybe seen as something like a
everyone in there
thing.
has like pink hair.
Yeah, it's a huge mix because you either get like bros who want to, like, that's me and my mates who come in, they're just like, fuck it, and then you can yell at them.
Like guys who like grew up watching WWE.
Yeah,
so like all the guys, all the people I know there are like super like nerdy, stoner,
because
lefty,
wrestling was like
people.
It's a bit of a nerdy thing to be a fan of when you're in your teenage years because people will be like, that's not cool. And then you get out of high school and you go, fuck it, I'm going to watch this. This is so much fun. But the other thing is at the tryouts, I remember looking around and you've got, like you said, you've got as left-looking people as possible, the patchwork tattoos and the coloured hair, whatever. Yeah. And then on the other side, you've got like the biggest bogan footy bloke. But the thing is, it's such an inclusive environment. Everyone really gets along.
Yeah.
And like, it's never like when you say there's the girl versus a guy fight, it's not like every fight is, oh, how's the chick going to get out of this one? No, they build up.
You hear, I heard guys behind me both being like that were obviously like their player they were going for was the guy one. They were like, smash her, blah, blah, blah. And then another group of guys, the player that they were invested in is the girl. They were like, smash him, blah, blah, blah. Well, it was like, okay, it's just the team.
Well, that's how they build up the characters. And it's not a matter of what gender you are or where you're from and your nationality. It's if you can build up a good character that is believable by the audience and they believe in you, they will see a 4-foot girl who's skinny as the toughest person in the company, or it might be the biggest dude you've ever seen in your life. Like, it's about how you connect with the audience.
What's the champion again?
Jessica Troy.
Tiny. And like, I love that her aesthetic is like patchwork, crochet, like
it's
little
so
flowers
cool.
and stuff. She looks like one of the Newtown fashion girlies. She's wearing jorts.
And she got the 80s mullet perm. It looks awesome.
Like she looks like a flower child. She looks like someone at Woodstock.
But her whole thing is she's called the arm collector because she snaps people's arms. That's her finisher. But did you see Delta?
She's sick. Yes. Oh my God, Delta's sick as well.
I like, I said the other day I don't get starstruck by anybody.
Yeah.
I met Delta before the show. And I've sent her because I went to a show before and I messaged her being like, that was the best match I've ever seen.
She's like a performer.
I went up to her and I was like, hi, I'm Lachy. And she's like, oh no, we've talked on Instagram. I was like, we have, you're awesome. Like, she's so sick.
She's
I don't think it's
incredible.
a secret anymore, but she's going the big time.
Like,
yep.
Like,
yeah. So that is what I've heard. But she is awesome, dude. She's got such a cool look. Fucking sick. Anyway, wrestling. So yeah, I did the wrestling show, eliminated myself, but had a great time.
It was so much fun. I had the best time ever because it was cool because like my friends from comedy, shout out Dave Woodhead and Andrew Hastings, they've been talking my ear off about wrestling for like a year or two now, maybe 2 years now, and I'm always like yes, but like. It was really cool because I thought, like years and years ago, I thought I was telling them something by being like, like pro wrestling is just drag, right? I thought they're very like cool lefty guys, but it still made me laugh. They weren't like, oh, what? They were like, yeah, dude.
It is.
No, yeah. It's the same thing. Because I was like, you go to a club. It's just that there's house music in the background. There's just like, pop divas in the background and there's more makeup slightly.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more wigs. There's probably the same amount of makeup. And it's just like everyone just hits the floor. Shablam. Like that is the exact same thing that's happening in the wrestling. It's just more there's two people involved in the trick.
Yeah. Well,
it's incredible.
I mean, you gotta sell the storyline. If it's a comedic match, you gotta make people feel entertained. You also have the David and Goliath story. At the same time, you got to remember the moves you're meant to be doing. Like some of them will choreograph it before the show, or some of them will go, let's just get in the ring. And that's why a lot have long hair, so they'll have their hair over their face. We're talking. So last year there was a wrestler who was beating me up in the corner, and the whole time she's beating me up.
So it's like improv as well.
In a way. So if you're really good at it, you can just go out there with someone, especially if you've done it with them 1,000 times. You go, their moves. Like
it's like partner dancing.
Yeah.
You know how people, if they've danced with someone for a while, when they improv,
you kind of know what they like to do.
You can see where they're going, and you know what to. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was It was awesome. And yeah, so this girl, I was in the corner like she's beating the shit out of me while other people are doing their things. We're making room in the ring. And the whole time she's got her hair over my head so people can't see. Which one's this? Kingsley.
Oh, yeah, she's
the dancing one. She's awesome. She's awesome. But she was like talking to me while she's beating the shit out of me going like, you're good, you're good. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sweet. And she's like, all right, you got to get up in about 10 seconds to go do your thing. I'm like, sweet. So they're talking. I want to break the fourth wall a bit, but also fuck Kingsley. I'll fuck you up as well, dude.
She's awesome.
I've been doing a lot of chatter.
Yeah, I loved it though.
Yeah. PWA, go check it out. And also Scott Green, good luck on Love Island. If you're on there, if you're not, that's a travesty.
And if you don't find love, you know where to find me.
Yeah, exactly. Should we get into...
No, I just want to tell one more thing. When he came out... So every single person, because I was standing with Dave Woodhead, who's like 8 foot tall.
Yeah.
By the way, he's like actual giant.
He's huge.
He's massive, man.
Yeah.
And so when when you like hit someone on the chest when you're like looking at something, it's not like that. I was spending the whole time like this, Dave, Woodhead. And then when Scott Green came out, I didn't do anything, and he was like, and I was like, I feel normal about this.
He's a handsome looking man.
He's awesome.
I've got a bit of a man crush on him, so I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I thought, guys, we do our top threes, but sometimes we don't want to be restricted by that number, and sometimes that number's a little bit too high for Eden. So we've kind of decided with the top three, we just want to come up with, it's basically just like, here's a fun premise we've thought of, here's the ideas we had. Because sometimes you want to do more than three, but you don't want to be repeating shit the next week to make up for the ones you didn't get to do.
Yes.
Anyway, there's my thought process. What we're going to do now is go through some ideas we had for unlikely names for sequels.
Unlikely names for sequels.
Like movie sequels, movies that don't actually have a sequel, but if they were to come out, this would be a shocking name for it.
Okay.
Let's hear some unlikely movie sequel names.
All right. Gone Girl 2 is Back Girl.
Gone Girl 2 is Back Girl.
Back Girl.
It's just Back Girl.
Back Girl.
The sequel to Get Out, Rot-Row, We Gotta Get Out Again. It's a goofy take.
Yeah.
For all the white people who didn't enjoy that movie, this is a goofy take on, well, like, it's not too bad. Let's not get too serious about it.
Let's not get political like that again.
Let's not get political.
Let's not get political like that. Let's not be political. E.T. extraterrestrial.
He's come back massive.
Oh, he's yoked.
He's yoked.
He's not riding a little bike. He's riding a fucking motorbike.
Yeah, when you guys touch fingers, he's
on the back of a Harley, dude.
He just transfers steroids into your body. Did you think that was funny?
That was really funny.
Okay, you're not going to find this funny. Schindler's List. He checks it twice.
Christmas movie?
It's a Christmas movie. It's the Christmas special of Schindler's List. He checks it twice. Fun for most of the family. If most of the family is just the brother in his older teen years who's really into World War II history.
Okay, thank God, because I didn't know where you were going with that one. Beetlejuice. Or Tutopia.
Tutopia.
Exutopia.
Just anywhere you can chuck a 2 in. Great.
I love those ones. Like, the Squeakquel was great. The Squeakquel's got to be the best.
The Squeakquel is perfect.
It's got to be the best
Yeah.
sequel name.
This is the sequel to the much-loved animated movie Up. It's called Down, and the whole movie they're just burying the old man.
I want to throw the microphone at you.
It's good, though. You're mad because it's good, and it works.
I quit the pod.
What you got?
That was, I did all of mine.
All right, I got heaps more.
Oh, of course you do.
Titanic 2, Iceberg versus Godzilla versus King Kong.
That's real good.
Thank
That's real good. You're on one today.
Oppenheimer 2, The Bitch is Back.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're doing a lot of reboots of old movies. What a great old movie, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Honey, I indoctrinated the kids into drag show readings.
Yes.
And finally, my last one, 13 Years a Slave.
This is now the second episode I've walked off in a row. Oh, well, no, but in 2 weeks in a row. Except for the fact that it's 19 minutes in, so I'm not allowed to walk off.
I'm saying they're unlikely. I hope they don't make them. It would be incredibly crass.
Well, I hope you're happy with that last one.
I'm
It's
pretty
probably
happy.
the funniest thing I've ever heard. Guys, why aren't we getting monetized? Imagine if we've set up the monetization by now, so there's ads in the middle of us. 13 years of life.
Then it just cuts.
Schindler's List, he's checking it twice.
Yeah.
I reckon the reason why this podcast is so unique is because it is where edgelord humor, so 4chan code. It's like we're like if gay people used like QAnon. 4chan, it's like edgelord bro humor from the left. We're hitting it from the left.
We're at the same time the edgelord emo in a Christian family, but also the Christian in the edgelord meme group at school.
Yes.
So it's like I'm in the group that goes so far this way, but I'm kind of the voice of reason. But at the same time, I also go all the way this way, but I'm also the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we're just offensive. Try cancel us now, snowflakes.
Try cancel us now. One of us is a little bit gay. One of us looks a little bit gay.
That's true. I'll give that. Speaking of a little bit gay, guys, we brought back the segment that I really enjoyed. At the time of recording this, the clip hasn't gone out yet, and I'm very confident that clip is either going to be really popular with lots of people engaging and giving their thoughts on it, or offensive.
Oh.
You shouldn't be.
Well, offensive is better than flop.
You're being so. That was our thought process with the Pillow Princess video.
Look what that got us.
We're like, as long as people are engaging and commenting and sharing. What was I saying?
God knows.
What was I saying? I was saying something important.
Yeah, the gays.
The gays. Yeah, I reckon either, people go, that's very reductive to put them into a box. But we're gonna.
Some of them want to go in a box.
Some of them want to
Shout out lesbians.
Too, brother. Me and the lessers.
Speaking about lesbians. All right, hit me. What's our?
We're just going very, very basic. Disney and Pixar animated characters.
Okay.
Yeah. Edan being one of the best gays I know. In the leaderboard of gays, her initials are up the top of that arcade machine.
Yeah.
You're just going to tell me what kind of gay you think they are.
All right.
Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, bear.
Yep, that seems straightforward. What about when he becomes a human?
Bear.
Still a bear?
Otter, sure.
Yeah. Cobra Bubbles. Do you know who that is?
Duh.
That's crazy because I know the character, but I didn't know his name was Cobra Bubbles.
I had a figurine of him.
All right, Cobra Bubbles.
And he had bubbles on his knuckles.
That's awesome.
Cobra Bubbles. I'm going to say something crazy.
Okay.
I'm going to say something fucking crazy. I think he's a sub.
You reckon?
You know how sometimes that's the way?
That's just...
You know how sometimes it's like the bit men in like big power?
You've only ever experienced power your entire life.
He's one of those people where like everyone assumes he's straight, but he's got like... he has like some little twink with a whip come in.
Okay.
Like, get on the bed, daddy.
All right.
Wait.
Get that image out of your head. Stitch.
Demon twink.
Demon twink. Well, is that a thing?
It's a subgenre of twink.
What is it? What's a demon twink?
It's just like fucked up twink. Like
feral?
Like if Troye Sivan is a twink.
Yeah.
Twink angel style.
Okay.
Demon twink.
Are they like toxic or are they just like crazy?
Demon twink is like, yeah, like they just unleash fury for some reason.
Okay.
Demon twink.
Cool. I'm learning. This is what this segment is about.
It's about education. It's about representation.
Mulan.
Oh, butch lesbian.
Butch lesbian.
She, when she dresses up and she's like, it's for the army. Go.
But you still like the dude.
Get that undercut. And he looks like a lesbian too.
Okay. The genie from Aladdin.
I want you to, if you clip this up, I want you to put that sound in it. And I'm gonna send you a photo. Guys, if you know Eureka off Drag Race, just like a drag queen.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Drag queen.
Drag queen, okay. Snow White.
Pillow Princess.
Makes.
When she's asleep.
I mean, it's true. That's true.
Sleeping Beauty. What? I'm not being discriminatory now.
Cruella de Vil.
Just lesbian.
Just, yep.
Like briefcased red lipstick business owner, like fuck ass Bob.
Cool.
Lesbian.
Ursula. The villain from Little Mermaid.
Yeah, she's she's got that long dress. Butch. Like if you think like prison wife Butch.
Prison wife Butch is a great way of putting it. Okay, great.
I'm watching Orange is the New Black. So.
Okay. Baloo. The bear from
Baloo,
Jungle Book.
Like, I want to be like you. Baloo. He's like, I would say he's, Baloo.
Can I give you one? And I don't know what this is necessarily called. He reminds me of Cameron from Modern Family.
That's what I was going to say.
Eric Stone Street's character.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And I was just going to find a way to word that. But yeah. Well, so like a family man gay is what we'll call that.
As per usual, a straight guy had to come in and save her. Quasimodo.
Quasimodo. Oh, Quasimodo. Bisexual man.
Bisexual man.
But you know the ones I'm talking about? You know when some guys go, oh, I'm bi, and I go, yeah, you've just had to open up your options.
Right.
You weren't doing that well with one gender.
Time to disappoint two.
No, you're casting a wider net.
Maui,
like from Moana. Mm-hmm. By the way, short break from this segment. The girl that got cast in the live action Moana, I used to teach.
So you're taking credit?
That no, like her whole like family is in like well within a Sydney like musical theatre.
Oh, awesome!
The Lagayas. Jay Lagaya, her dad used to be on Play School.
I think I think I know who that is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's awesome.
He was in Star Wars.
Yes, I know a lot of people were very happy that they actually cast someone
from Islander descent.
Yes. Yeah, which is awesome.
Anyway, they're really, really cool family, and I used to teach her little sister Bella a lot. It's awesome family, so she's gonna be incredible. But Maui.
Yep.
Just like, I don't know, just like a big daddy. Like,
yeah, I mean,
definitely
that's fair.
gay.
You don't have to think about it too hard. Sometimes it just is the obvious answer. Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, like Jim Gay.
Okay. I don't know why in my head I think maybe because he's in denial about being a toy. I always thought just like hard closeted Christian gay.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
Like Christian dude who's going to conversion therapy and he's like, I love vagina to infinity and beyond.
Buzz Lightyear is the president who has a wife and then one of his advisors. They kiss when no one's looking.
Kissy on the mouth.
Kissy on the mouth and
in the butt.
Yeah.
These are two pretty easy ones to finish off. She-Go.
Whatever gay I am.
Whatever she wants to be.
And I'm whatever type of gay she wants me to be.
Yep.
She's very much like, you know what? I think people want to say she's bi. I think she's a lesbian.
You hear that, fellas?
Sorry,
Sucked
she's not
in.
for you. I just can't think. I can't imagine her being for. No, she's a bit like one of those like queer girls who
I think she straps the dudes, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's about as.
She's like,
but it's not a sexual thing.
Dudes may have, in her weaker moments made it through. She's slept with guys before. She's not a gold star lesbian. She's done it before.
Is that what you call it, a gold star lesbian?
Oh yeah.
That you've never slept with a dude.
Yeah. Sometimes they have like a superiority about it, which is dumb because it's like people come from different backgrounds and some people don't figure it out until later. Calm down.
I'm sorry that I wanted to taste greens just in case to see if I like them or not.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, so you just eat one meal every day. I tried broccoli. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite, but at least I know that I don't like it now.
Yeah. Man, I'm craving broccoli. So yeah.
Last one, Kim Possible.
I feel like she's straight.
That you can say that. That's absolutely
fine.
Straight. Okay. Great. I always have fun with these. I always learn so much.
Can I pose you one?
Yep.
Rufus.
Who's Rufus?
Isn't that the fucking mole rat from Kim Possible?
Oh, that's I know exactly what Rufus is.
The mole rat.
Twink Death.
Rufus was just having twink death. Wait, is that his name? Is Rufus?
I think so.
Yeah,
I'll have a picture of it so if people don't know, it'll be there. Oh, that was fun. Did you have anything else?
Yeah, there he is, Rufus. I I got shit all and fuck all else to say to you.
That's all right.
today.
We can finish the episode with a little surprise segment that I don't tell Eden about because I know she'd hate it. Welcome back to another episode of Things That Make You Cry.
Yeah, come on.
I've just listed out a couple things that make me cry and make me sad. I just want to get your thoughts on them.
Yeah, all right. Come on.
Old dogs letting out a little sigh then resting their head on your lap.
Oh, that is cute.
It is nice. When people say their dog has gone across the Rainbow Bridge.
Well, I'd make fun of someone for
Oh,
saying
you
that.
don't like that?
Across the Rainbow Bridge. Say my fucking dog died and I'll listen to you.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Across the Rainbow Bridge.
Hey.
Did your dog come out?
I was going to say, that's dogs during Pride.
Yeah.
Do you know what's also, I also hate, I love I hate and love it at the same time. You know those videos where people will walk across
I love it and I hate it at the same time.
You know those people who make those videos where they're walking across the rainbow pedestrian crossings? I love the ones where the guys will be like real butch and then they'll walk across it. And it's like, it's the guys who are actually in the videos are gay and then they'll just be, and then they'll go off it and be butch again. The ones that make me laugh even harder than that for different reasons are like the straight fucking crazy dudes who are like, I'm not crossing. I'd rather fucking jaywalk and risk getting hit by a car. And I'm like, do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Traffic lights are almost part of the rainbow. You should ignore those as well.
Wow, that was good.
Thank you.
You were quick with it today.
Thank you.
Give me more things to cry about.
The thought of my friends finally being happy and getting engaged or getting married. Do you know how many times I've thought about standing there as like my best mate's best man and watching him get married and I cry?
I didn't know how to air this dirty laundry out on the podcast, but I think I can finally talk about it because this is a little while in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hope this doesn't age badly and we don't become friends again one day. My best friend of day one of year 7 we met.
Yep.
Inseparable since then.
Yep.
Do everything together, attached at the hip forever and ever and ever. Like I was like, my best friend in the world, my best friend in the world, my best friend in the world. Across the last couple of years when really, I told you about this, surely. Maybe not. When really, really terrible things happened to me in the really bad relationship I was in.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, it's taken a toll on me as well. Like having to like support you and you've been really vacant and blah, 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 blah. And she's getting engaged, she FaceTimes me when she gets engaged. I'm in bed, like she's showing the ring and blah, blah. We're talking about bridesmaid shit. We've talked about getting married since we became friends when we were 12 years old. And then she sits me down the next week. We talk about the wedding all the time. I talk about a speech. I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah. Like she says something about a speech and then I talk about, oh yeah, I'll start writing it, blah, blah. Then she sits me down and she's like, we've rethought the wedding and just because you weren't there for me. And I was like, is it the other 2 friends in our group? Are they still in it? And she was like, yeah.
Wow.
And so I lost my best friend for 10 years. So when you were like, my friend's getting married, engaged, I went like.
Oh, complete opposite situation.
I went like.
Well.
So no.
That's crazy to be, that there is the amount of people that would be on her wedding list that she didn't FaceTime when she got engaged. There'd be so many more people.
I'm still invited to the wedding.
Are you still invited? You're just not a bride.
I haven't talked to her since then though.
I thought you weren't. I thought you were uninvited. I think that's
No,
still
no, no.
fair. You can be invited.
But the brides, it's like our group of. So it's also like we have a group. Like it'd be like if James got married and Jamie was a groomsman and you weren't.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be okay.
Would that be like, what
I see
the
where you're coming
fuck?
from. I see where you're coming from. Okay.
It's
well,
like
all right,
the other 2 girls in the group are, and I'm not.
Yeah,
Even though I'm closer, like I've known her for the longest.
Well, the thought of friends getting engaged or married definitely not going to make you cry today.
Well, it did. Not in this way.
in a
but
different
I'm over
way.
it now. I'm stronger.
When you think about your parents and when you think about meeting your parents when they were little kids and talking to them, now we got her. That was a quick 180. Giving them a hug and telling them it's going to be okay. We got her. We got tears. I don't know why I take such joy in this. I don't even think it's because I want to make you cry. I think I want to be like, how good is my writing that I can
what's
elicit
another
this
one on
emotion
that?
out? What?
Imagining like anyone like the person you're in love with, like meeting them as a kid.
Nah, that's weird.
No, No, like when they're like little and they're
The
like
person that I most want to fuck in the world, I don't want to meet them as a kid.
not like that.
What interaction do I have to do with them as a kid?
If you know them and you know what they like struggle with and like if they ever like doubt themselves and like
Okay, because I don't want to hang out with 5-year-old Carly. We would have nothing to talk about. I don't want to hang out with a child. Hey, by the way, you're going to like really like me in a couple of years. And then she'll probably go, your face is ugly, like kids do. And I'm like, oh, well, fuck, maybe we've got to make some different decisions here.
I mean, in the same way that when you're like, you're thinking of your parents, it's like, oh, they were little.
I think more it's like, I think when you say when they were going through like trauma, that's fine. But I was about to say what child has trauma, but there literally is a thing called childhood trauma, so never mind, moving on.
What child? You forgot that some children have trauma?
I forgot who I do a podcast with. This one always gets me. The video of that family whose son passed away and he donated his heart to somebody and then the parents listened to their son's heartbeat through the chest of the recipient.
Yeah, that is really cute.
And they're like hugging him. But I think the sweetest part is the guy who was the recipient did not move. He just let them go for as long as they needed. It was heartbreaking.
That is really sad.
Old dogs smiling at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They still think they're a puppy.
Oh, I love when an old dog tries to get up because it's really excited and it's like, oh,
yeah.
But they're still like, I'm a puppy. Or like when like I love when a big dog thinks they're a puppy and they jump on your lap and you're like, you're huge, dude. Yep. You don't even know how big you are. You're just a little guy.
Yeah. Really old women dancing again or singing when they hear a song that they haven't heard in a long time. For my great-grandmother, I learned on guitar, You Are My Sunshine, because she would sing it with me. Rip Jeannie, miss you, love you. We got Edan again. I don't know how often I can do this segment because it's kind of cruel.
No, because it's like nice crying.
Well,
you're not like things that make you cry.
You're fat.
Remember when you're things that make you cry. No one loves you.
You're ugly.
You're draining to people around you.
Oh, okay, that got real.
I didn't say your one. I said my one.
No, sure. I don't know. You must have thought of it. That was totally a random thought that you had from out of nowhere.
Like things that are making you.
Things that are.
Okay, you're like, I'm like, my one.
Things that make it tough to be your friend.
Yeah. The thought that you can't express any sincere emotion.
Yeah. My one is I can't. I think my dad's passed on to me the song Father and Son.
By who?
Cat Stevens.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's not time to make it. That one's tough because it's literally like a dad telling his son all the things he needs to tell him before he goes away. And I know that makes my dad choke up. And consequently, however the fuck you say it makes me tear up a little bit. Especially I've learned it on piano. And when I have like a moment to myself, I'll just play at home and have a little think about Tiger, who's tattooed on the arm and also now on the birth certificate.
I got a tattoo that makes me cry.
Is it most of them because of their handiwork?
Yeah, because I regret them.
Yeah.
No, it's the Starman one, like David Bowie song. When my dad died, my mum played it and she was like, "Oh, this always used to make me think of your dad," because obviously the fucking like, because I always told you like my dad was like, you know, too big for this world, too smart and crazy and like like so many people were like, I can't even wrap my head around like what this guy's saying. I know he's brilliant, but it's like whoa, he's like a fucking alien. And like obviously it just killed me when my mum put it on because I was like, oh, that's like even, you know, she didn't like, they were really never together, they never really got along. Like she still understood what he was like because it's like obviously the like cue line is like, there's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. And I'm always like, and like I told you about, he used to like pick up all the neighborhood kids and like the like line after the chorus is like let the children use it, let all the children boogie. And I'm like,
yeah.
And it always comes on the fucking radio when I'm about to go somewhere that I cannot be turning off weeping. I'll be like, cool, on my way to like a business meeting or something. And I'll get in the car and it'll like, you know, it'll like randomly put on like an older radio, like WSFM or fucking like Triple M or something. And I'll just be like.
We should do a try not to cry challenge. We both have to put on headphones. I'll put on Father and Son. You put on Starman. First to cry loses.
Should we do it?
We can at some point. Bambi's mother dying.
Ugh.
You know, it's not the fact that she's dying. It's the fact
I actually don't remember. I probably do find it really sad. It's the fact
that Bambi doesn't know what's going on and she's looking around for answers. Now I got you. Fucking got her. Here we go. That'll serve you right for not crying in the first place. I got one more for you. I love how this episode was so high energy, and this is just purely for me because it's a surprise for you. I have no reason to do this. I just do. Last one, those videos where people have their dogs running them toward them in a field and they caption it, "When I pass away, my best buddy is on the other side to meet me." It's a good one. I got a couple buddies waiting up there for me as well, which would be nice. Yeah. It's a crazy way. The thing is, there's no place you can put this in the podcast where it makes sense. You can't start with this. Eden's crying.
Full cry.
You're like tears streaming now. You can put this at the end because I guess then you don't have to do anything after it, but it's such a crazy way to end a podcast.
It's so funny.
I've exhausted most of my options. The surprise cry segment will not be back for a little while, but when it comes back, fuck, you're not going to be ready for it.
I'm going to be like, surprise cry, like things that make you cry segment. And I'm going to be like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
Mine are all things that you just see on TikTok. Yours is like,
yours is like,
I spoke to your therapist.
Yours is like tear jerking.
Yeah.
Things that make you cry, like, oh yeah, when they make an edit of a dog, and mine's like, remember how no one could encapsulate the trauma of what you were saying?
Remember when no one knew and you were too young and didn't deserve it? I'm not going to cry. I'm going to have a fucking panic attack.
Yours are like when there's an old dog and I'm like, what if I'm unlovable entirely?
Oh, God. Yeah.
At my core.
That one's scary. That one got me. That one, for the first time in this podcast, felt like a real moment. I didn't love it. All right. Well, I reckon we finished there.
It's the funniest end to a podcast.
Guys, keep a lookout for some upcoming movies. Schindler's List, Checks It Twice. Great Christmas movie with the family. And have a cry, get it all out, have some fun, stay safe.
I love you guys. Goodbye.
Love you, miss you. Bye.